Hey, everybody, welcome back. You know who I am. I don't need to go through my spiel. Here we are, looking at Conquistador, stepping into our second turn of our playthrough. Made a few mistakes in the last video. Not really a surprise. Thank you for Carlos for pointing them out to me. Rolled on the wrong tables. One of them I actually caught, the Naval attrition table. I rolled on, and I mentioned that in the last video. But I also rolled on the wrong chart when we had the native uprising, which is okay because I think at the end of the day, with the wrong charts and looking back at the dice rolls, I kind of lost the same number of troops regardless from colonists. So it's not going to change things any. I'm not going to go back and retcon it, so there you go. Oh, yeah, they got me on some new blood pressure meds, and it's been kind of making me a little bit loopy and dizzy, so if I'm a little bit more out there than I normally am, well, we just chalk it up to the medication. And it's hot here. It's like 80 degrees. So horrible. I'm going to be dying here. I had to turn off my AC to record this because I noticed it made a little bit too much noise last time. Yeah, I know. So horrible. All right, so let's go ahead and step into turn 2. And for turn 2, we get a couple more. We look at the turn track, and we get a couple more dudes. We get another navigator, and we get another conquistador. So we're just going to go ahead and stick them in our Spain box because they're there in Spain right now. Now you remember we got Columbus; he's still left from last turn, and our other conquistador, we left him in the Caribbean to try to help with the natives, and it really didn't work out too well. So now let's go see how much taxes we get, because we need to start breaking in some money because we lost a lot of money. Let's see, 1 and 6. Remember, black is the first dice for random events, and 6 is the second dice. Go ahead and leave the dice up there. Let's see, dice roll a 1 with a monarch rating of A. We get 45 ducats, which is good. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So we're sitting at 140 ducats. We only get 2 colonists this turn. That's distressing. That was not what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a couple more colonists. Settlers, or I think I was calling them settlers mostly last game. I get stuck in my civilization, the computer game Sid Meier's Civilization, and they call them colonists there, or settlers there. But, I mean, the term is interchangeable. Colonists, settlers, whatever. People, civilians. So we get 2 more colonists, settlers. Go ahead and put them in the Spanish port. And our random event is A, which means that is a monarch change, which would mean we change our monarch's rating from whatever it is currently to an A. However, with an A, our monarch's rating is already an A, so it's not going to change. So no random event, which is good because it's better than a bad random event. However, because we're playing the solo rules, we do have the NPCs are actually going to be doing something. So non-player colonization reference table, we got an A, so it's going to be Portugal. Portugal is going to be landing someplace. So then we look at the Portugal table, and we roll 2d6. And what do we get? We got a 6. So where is Portugal going to be landing? 6 is going to be Rio de Plata. Rio de Plata. So what does that mean? Well, that means that they have been working towards trying to colonize the Rio de Plata, and they have successfully landed colonists there and have managed to wipe out the native influence and have secured enough in the way to be able to claim that area as their own. And so there is no longer a native influence of 1 down there. And I'm going to have to shift my camera over because this is pretty far south. So let's go ahead and shift the camera a little bit. And get a look at the Rio de Plata. Not that I think it's going to have any effect on me whatsoever as playing as Spain, because I don't plan on going that far. But, so the Rio de Plata, it is a 2 native influence, which was wiped out with a 1 attrition level. Again, nothing we have to worry about. But since the Portuguese went ahead and landed there and have now a native influence of 5, we're just going to put 5 colonists and settlers out there to represent their 5 influence, or the 5 native or native European influence in that area. So if I wanted to go in there and say I wanted to take over Rio de Plata, the native or the European influence would kind of work like instead of the native influence. However, I doubt I'm going to be going down there, but just for completionist's sake, we're going to go ahead and be sticking 5 settlers in there to indicate that they do have a influence level of European influence level of 5 down there. And congratulations to the Portuguese for controlling an area. And that's actually pretty hefty area. It goes all the way almost to the borders of the Incan Empire. So that's pretty good. Yeah. Cool. Shift the camera back over. Turn, zoom to its normal position. All right, so now with that random event being out of the way, we have initiative termination following the turn order sequence. However, we're playing solo, so we don't have to worry about the initiative termination planning segment. All right, here's where we need to start planning and working out what we're going to do and what we're going to spend for this turn. All right, I need to reinforce my colonists here in the Caribbean. So, and I just need to get more troops and more colonists. We've got 2 colonists at that landing. We've got 1 colonist at that landing. We've also got 1 soldier at each one of them. All right, so, and I need to grab the gold that these mines are producing. So I'm going to have to send an expedition there. Since there's already a settler there, that expedition doesn't have to have an explorer to land there. So I don't have to worry about assigning either one of my explorers to go there to reinforce and to pick up that gold. However, we do need to make it as an expedition, so we do need to pay for bounds and all that good stuff. Good thing is, we bought a bunch of ships last turn. They didn't go away. I can still use those ships. All right, so we got 2 colonists. So we're going to we're going to give 2 colonists to land in the Caribbean again. Reinforce what I've already got there. So that's going to take at least 1 caravel. Carrack. I always get those 2 confused. Which one's the bigger? Carrack. We're going to assign 1 Carrack. Actually, we're going to assign 1 Carrack, 1 Caravel, and I'm going to explain the reason why I'm breaking the... Oh, I can't do that way. Okay. Make sure I'm doing this right. Get the... Okay. Okay, I guess I can do it that way then. So, yeah. One Carrack for the 2 colonists, and that'll actually cover being able to haul the gold back, and I'll get to that when we get there. But I also need to send a couple soldiers over there. I want to get 2 more soldiers there. So that's going to be, so we're going to take 2 more, or not 2 more, we're going to take 2 caravels to carry the soldiers. So we're going to buy the soldiers. Let's go ahead and look for soldiers in my pile. There's 1 soldier, and there's the 2nd soldier. So set that up like that. And soldiers are what? Soldiers are 4 to purchase. Ugh. Let's go ahead and shift our ducats down. We're down to 132. All right, so that is that expedition. That is the expedition that is going to be reinforcing the Caribbean. We're going to be putting a couple more settlers in place, and we're going to be putting a couple more soldiers down there, and we're going to be using the ships to transport some gold back. All right, so that's one expedition. Now, let's figure out how many bounds it is. Again, the Caribbean is 3 bounds away, so there's 3 bounds that we're going to have to pay for. I want to move the ships around in the Caribbean once they get there, so it's going to be a 4th bound, and then 3 bounds back is going to be another, so a grand total of 7 bounds, which is going to be 14 gold. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 118. Yeah, okay, so there's that expedition. Now, we're noticing that we're not making a lot of money off this. This New World thing is really, really getting expensive. So what we want to do is, we've heard the rumors that maybe there's these place called the Mayan Empire, which, from what I understand, is kind of a misnomer. There really never was a Mayan Empire. It's just a collection of city-states with similar traditions, languages, so on and so forth. They never really coalesced into an empire, from what I understand. I could be wrong on that. I probably am, but I seem to recall reading that someplace. But there's words that there's this mighty fortune city of Chichen Itza where the streets are paved with gold and people eat gold-plated grapes, and there's just lots of treasures and golds and gems, and so we want to go there. So we're going to have to make another expedition for there, and this is since this is a treasure city, we have to have soldiers occupy it to be able to loot it, and we also need the soldiers to, well, basically wipe out the natives there, because I'm sure the natives aren't going to appreciate us rampaging and raging through their treasure city, taking all their stuff. So, since we don't already have a colonist there, we're going to need to assign someone to it. So, I believe a Conquistador is enough to land on... well, you know what? Now, let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and throw Columbus in, just to make sure, because I can't remember if an explorer or a conquistador works as an explorer when it comes to landing troops in an unexplored territory, or as an area that doesn't have a settlement on it. So we're going to assign both Balboa and Columbus to this expedition. And what have we got left? We've got a Carrack and 2 caravels. So we're going to blow through a lot of cash. That's going to be enough for us to carry 4 soldier units. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy 4 soldier units, which is going to be 16 gold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're down to 102. So let's just grab some soldier units. There's 2 soldier units and 1 soldier unit. And let's see if we can find another single soldier unit. Alright, so there's the 4 soldiers for there. Now this is, we're really, really hoping that Chichen Itza is actually as prolific with gems and jewels and golds. Because if not, this is going to be a very, very costly, pointless expedition. And since I'm using the random events or the random treasure cities, we really don't know if that's an actual treasure city. We may get there and find that, oh no, this is just a bunch of wood huts and hovels and, you know, basically blown all that cash for those soldiers and those troops on nothing. Okay, so there's the expedition. Now we still also have to pay for the bounds to get there. So let's take a look at the Mayan Empire. The Mayan Empire is a 4 if we're landing on the East Coast, which we are. I don't plan on moving the ships around any once I get there. So it's going to be 4 bounds there, 4 bounds back. So it's going to be 8 bounds. We've got to pay for that. That's 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're down to 86 gold. Ugh. And we haven't even paid for maintenance. We're going to get a little bit back because we got some gold coming in from our gold mines in the Caribbean. But we're not going to get all that gold. Now I'll kind of get to that and show why when we get there. All right, so that's the planning segment. So we've got that all planned out, and we blew through what 60 some odd gold setting up those 2 expeditions. The King of Spain, really, really starting to think, is this really a good idea? We're not seeing much of a return yet, and these heathen natives, they rose up against us last turn. They're not accepting the word of God. Is this worth continuing? Well, we're going to go see. There's rumors of riches abounding, and Portugal's already established themselves, so we can't let Portugal outdo us. So yeah, I guess we're going to go ahead and keep doing it. All right, so let's go ahead and do the first expedition, the transoceanic naval movement phase, which is going to be moving these guys. And I'm just going to move the ships. I'm not going to stack up the troops with them because we kind of know what ships are where. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to land here in Cuba. And we are going to offload some of the troops. And now remember, since we're already landing on a settlement that's already existing, we don't need an explorer for that. So that's why I didn't need to assign an explorer. I could have. You know what? Just for shits and giggles, let's go ahead and assign. Because we've got him sitting in Spain not doing anything. So let's go give him some experience, send him out there. I'm not going to put the counters in the hex. We know that they're there. So we've got 2 colonists and a soldier. We want to drop off 1 soldier, and I believe we're going to drop off 1. Now let's go ahead and drop off 2 colonists there, because our other, we only got 2 colonists, and we got 1 colonist in each one of them, so one of them is going to get an extra. Okay, so that's fine. That's cool. That's what we're going to do there. I'm setting those off to the side for a little bit, just because we've still got the bounds or the naval attrition we need to roll for, which doesn't happen until the end of all the naval phase is over. So, as part of our hemispheric or transoceanic naval movement, move these guys here, drop off the 2 soldiers, or the 2 settlers and the 1 soldier. Also, as part of the transoceanic naval movement, our second expedition. Remember, the second expedition we went for, and this is just a pure military operation. It's going to be landing in Chichen Itza. So let's just go ahead, and I'm going to put the ships by Chichen Itza. Oh, let's go ahead and move the... Okay, now normally I'd need a missionary along with me, but since we're not putting a settler there, we only need missionaries at settlements. Not really wanting to take a missionary along with this one, although it probably could. If I get a peace and loving one, it'll actually hurt me in combat. And there's like a 50-50 chance I'll get a peace and love or a hellfire and brimstone. So we're going to go ahead and take these guys, and we're going to send them off the Mayan Empire coast. Oh, excuse me. Allergies have been killing me as well. And we're going to land them at Chichen Itza, which is right here. Now, we don't know what if Chichen Itza is a treasure city. So we went with the random event. So here it is. Let's go ahead. The big reveal. Oh, no, it's not a treasure city. Oh, we wasted all that time and effort and gold for nothing. Oh, boo, hiss, hiss, boo. We don't like that. The rumors of Chichen Itza being a fabled city of gold, they lied to us. Okay, so we land the troops there regardless. I didn't pay for any bounds for them to move anyplace else. So, you know, they're there. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay, so that is the transoceanic naval movement phase. Now we have the hemispheric. Didn't pay for any bounds for this expedition, so they're kind of stuck right there. However, we did pay for an extra bound. And what were we doing with this extra bound? We're going to take these guys, and we're going to move them. It's going to be 4 movement points to move over there. And we're going to drop off our other soldier that we're carrying. So we're going to drop him off here. And, all right, let's go ahead and stack these guys in there. So I should probably break them up. Let's wait until native interference and all that good stuff. And maybe I'll make some change and try to shrink those stacks down. All right, so that's the hemispheric naval movement segment. That's all I paid the bounds for. We're good. Naval attrition segment. Now we roll naval attrition. And let's see if we can get the, let's see if we can do it the correct way this time. All right, so the first expedition, this expedition right here, how many bounds have they traveled so far this phase, or this segment? It's going to be 4, 3 to get the Caribbean, 1 inside the Caribbean. So it's going to be on the 4 column for, okay, naval attrition tables. Make sure we're on the right table this time. And it's 4. And there's no modifiers for having an explorer or anything. So it's a 3, which is a nothing. So we don't have to worry about losing anything there. Now, the other expedition, they moved at also 4 bounds, but it was just a flat-out 4 bounds to get to the Mayan Empire. Again, not modified by any leaders or anything. Or explorers. 5, again, nothing. All right, so our ships made it just fine. Maybe we're learning a little bit better how to make those long ocean voyages. So that's the attrition segment. Now, land phase, gold segment. All right, so we've got 2 gold mines here. Both of them produce 15 gold a turn. So let's go ahead and find the 15 to put there on that. Okay, now, this is why I had to move these guys, this expedition over here. Because the way the timing is you only load the gold onto ships after your movement phase. So I could have left the expedition ships here, but they would have only picked up the 15 gold that was here. Moving them over here, they'll pick up the 15 gold that was here from last turn, and the 15 gold from this turn. All right, so that's going to be 30 gold those ships are going to load up, and we've got, let's see, we've got a Carrack and 2 Caravels, which is, and they're total capacity, they can carry 35 gold, so I got more than enough capacity to carry the gold. Now, 30 gold seems rather impressive, but you've got to remember, we blew through 60 gold so far this turn. We're not making a lot of money off the gold mines. It seems like there's, each gold mine there is producing 15 a turn. That's 30 a turn, but with them being separated like that, it's, I'm probably going to be alternating expeditions. And if you take a look at it, it's, it's going to cost me, about 16 gold per turn just for bounds and ship maintenance. So not really making a lot of money off the Caribbean, although it kind of seems like it. It's just the costs to bring it back and send the ships there are almost outweighing what I'm making a turn in it. It's a slight increase, there is still a profit there. It's just not a big profit. Okay, so now what we got to do is we got to roll for gold mine depletion, and it's a 2 through 5. So let's go ahead and roll for the Cuban gold mine. That's an 8, so that's good. And the other gold mine, 6. Okay, so they're good. They're still producing. Land movement and combat segment. Okay, now what I want, if I wanted to, I could do, because I have a Conquistador with these guys, I could move these guys around, but what's the point? I mean, there's not really any... There's nothing in range. Let's see. Yeah, they have 8 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 movement points. I can't even get to the Midwestern or Sonora Treasure City, so that's not doing me any good. So there's no need to move those guys. There's no need to move these guys here. So yeah, there's no combat segment. Native combat segment. Okay. Now we are going to jump into native combat, and we're actually starting to hit the 25-minute mark, so let me pause, and I'll be right back. And we're back. All right, so what we're going to do, is there any profit to us right now attacking the natives in the Mayan Empire? No, not really. We're not going to establish a foothold there. We've already determined that there's not a treasure city there, so it's there's no reason for us to be there. The Yucatan Peninsula is a really horrible place to try to set up cities. Anyways, I think a bunch of geologists have said it's geo something insubstantial, big fancy and long word, meaning they don't know how anybody can survive there. I think the Mayans only survived there because they were really good at building out cisterns and using the lime rock to filter, the rainwater. Now, they get a lot of rain. The Yucatan Peninsula gets a huge amount of rain every year from like July to October. But It's also a very porous landscape, so most of the water doesn't stay on the surface; it kind of just sinks right into the deep depths. So there's no purpose for Spain. It's like Spain, the Spanish are looking around, and all right, yeah, this place sucks. We don't want to try to farm here. Oh, look, they've got ducks and dogs, and that's about it. Yeah, we're not going to stay here. So there's no reason for me to attack the natives there. We're not going to attack the natives there. The soldiers are all going to load up on ships and head back home at the end of this. However, we got the Hellfire and Brimstone priest missionary in the Caribbean who's screaming for blood because the natives uprose last turn, pretty much because the Hellfire and Brimstone preacher was pushing him to it, but he doesn't see it that way. Whatever. Yeah, we are going to conduct combat offensive operations against the natives and try to reduce them in the Caribbean. Now they've got a native influence level of 3. So combat against natives real easy. You just looked against to the combat against natives chart, which I accidentally rolled on last turn last turn when I should have rolled on the native uprisings. So we got combat against natives, and I believe we've got 4 soldiers there. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got 4 soldiers there. So we're going to be on the 4 column. Now, I also have a Conquistador there, which is going to give me -1 on the dice roll, and I've got a Hellfire and Brimstone missionary, which gives me -3 on the dice roll because that's his missionary level. You can see he's got the +3, which means he's Hellfire and Brimstone. So he actually helps in combat against the natives. However, the maximum you can have is a +3 dice roll modifier. So even though I've got +4 dice roll total, it's only going to be +3 because that's what the rules cap us out at. Roll a dice, -3, and we'll see what we get. We get a 1. Hey, dice roll 1 with 3 to 4 soldiers in the area. That's a reduction of 3 native influence. Well, the Caribbean only has a native influence of 3, so the native influence, for all intents and purposes, in the Caribbean have been wiped out. So we don't have to worry about any uprisings there anymore, nothing like that. The angry, pissed off natives have been put to the sword, or converted, whatever you want to call it. If you're not cool with the historical killing of natives, think of it as we made peace with them and made treaties and whatever. At the end of the day, there's no more native influence there. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I actually don't have to keep as many soldiers there anymore, which is actually, we may actually pull some soldiers back from there. But that's the native combat segment, and then you have the native uprising segment. Now, I'm not sure, since I don't have a settlement here, not sure if there's an uprising there. Let me check the, we know there's no uprising in the Caribbean because, the majority of the natives have been wiped out. But in the Mayan Empire, let's see, uprising. Is uprising only against settlements, or is it against anybody? Special units, maintenance, land attrition, land combat. With 14 pages of rules, you think I'd be able to find everything real easy. There we go, natives. Okay. Native uprising. Each area in which he has land units, see if there is a native uprising. Okay, so any unit which I have land units. All right, so land units here, but no uprising because there's no Indians. Well, let's check. Maybe even there could be an uprising. Let's check just to make sure. Okay, if the native level is 0, there can never be an uprising. All right, so we don't have to worry about the Caribbean. All right, so the Mayan Empire, we've got 3, and we've got 4 soldiers. So 3 minus 4 is a -1. And does it ever go lower than 0? I could have swore there was one place that I read that even if it goes down to 0, you roll on the 0. Oh, no, it doesn't even matter. Because to see if there's an uprising, you subtract, you take the number of natives, there's 3, you subtract the number of soldiers there are, that's 4, add in the number of colonists and a missionary, which there aren't any, So the native uprising... Oh, excuse me. The chance for a native uprising is -1. You can't roll less than -1 on the dice. No uprising. We don't have to worry about it. And the Caribbean's done. We don't have to worry about that. All right, so land attrition segment. Yeah, no land attrition. Yeah, because rolling dice to see who dies. And you roll this for every hex. All right, so we've got these. Let's go ahead. Let's go with our little expedition in the Mayan Empire. The attrition level there is a 3, +1 for being a jungle hex, -1 for being on the coast. So the attrition area level is a 3. I have a Conquistador, which is going to add +1 to my dice roll. So land attrition table on the 3 column, +1 to the dice roll. 3 + 1 is a 4, nothing. All right, so here in the Caribbean, we've got attrition level of 2, +1 for the jungle, -1 for the coastline. So 2, let's see, I don't have a Conquistador there, but I do have a Conquistador here. So it's going to be on the 2 column here, no dice roll, 3, nothing, and it's going to be on the 2 column here with a -1 for the Conquistador, 3 or +1, 4, nothing. All right, so we're actually getting pretty lucky. We're not having a lot of people die off from attrition. Resources segment. Alrighty. This is when we load gold up and all that other good stuff. So this mine right here, we got no ships there. We can't load that up, so they're just going to be sitting on that 15 gold. These guys right here, we're going to go ahead. That's 30 gold, and I can carry 35 units worth of, or 35 ducats worth of gold in the ships that I have. So they're going to load up on the ship. And you know what? Let's go ahead. Oh, no, our Conquistador can stay there. Well, no, you know what? We actually have wiped out all the natives. We don't need the Conquistador here anymore. So let's go ahead and load him up on the ship as well and send him back. Okay, so that's loading the gold on. We actually now have resources. No resources from here. Okay, let's take a look. How many settlers have we got here? We got 1 settler here, but he spent the turn mining, so he doesn't produce any resources. Here we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, one of them worked the mine, so he doesn't produce anything, but we have 2 other settlers there. They produce 2, but this is a rich area, so that's doubled to 4. So he actually made 4 gold, 4 ducats off the settlers. Yeah, 4 whole gold. Woo! Okay, now we're into the final naval phase, the transoceanic naval movement segment, which is basically, yeah, these guys load back up on the ship. So, and they're going to go back to Spain. And the other guys in the Caribbean are going to load up on the ships and head back to Spain. So both the expeditions make it back to Spain. Transoceanic naval movement segment is over. Now it's the attrition segment. Now, we roll attrition on them again. The first expedition that was at the Mayan Empire, they're on the attrition 4 chart because they moved 4 bounds. So it's basically going to be anything 1, 2, or 6. So 4, nothing, and the expedition coming back from the Caribbean is 3 bounds, so they roll on the 3 chart. 3, nothing. Really am getting lucky with my attrition rolls. Then we have discovery credit. Again, I'm not worried about the victory points for discovery, so I'm not going to worry about it. Treasury segment. All right, now we're going to go ahead. We managed to bring the 30 gold back. So that 30 gets added to Spain's treasury. 1, 2, 3. So we're up to 120. We still have lost like 20, 30 gold this turn. And we haven't even made maintenance fees yet. So, maintenance fees. Okay, we're done with that. Was the resource segment. Now we're into maintenance. So let's see. We don't have to worry about maintenance on conquistadors and explorers. But we do on missionary. We're not there yet, so we're just worrying about what's in Spain. So Spain currently has 4 soldiers. 4 caravels and 2 carracks. Okay, so maintenance on the caravels is 1, so it's going to be 4, and it's going to be 2 for each of the carracks, so that's going to be another 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 4 soldiers in Spain, a soldier is... Now, I could get rid of them if I wanted to. You don't have to pay maintenance on them. I could get rid of them and not have to worry about paying maintenance. But I think we're going to be going for another expedition next turn, so I think I want to keep these soldiers around just so we can land someplace else, and I don't have to worry about paying the soldiers next turn. But, again, they are one to maintain, so that's going to be another 4 gold we're spending. Down to 108. That's for just what's in Spain. Now we have to worry about what's out here. Missionary is 1, so we pay 1 for the missionary. We've got 2 soldiers here. Let me go ahead and find a 2 soldier so I can reduce this stack a little bit. So there's basically a 2 soldier right there. You can tell because the combat value is 8, which is double what a normal one is. Plus you've got the little 2 underscore underneath the rifles. So we've got 1 colonist, 2 soldiers, and a Hellfire and Brimstone preacher. So 2 soldiers and 1 settler. Colonist. Settler, colonist, interchangeable words. Settlers are 2, soldiers are 1, so that's going to be 4 gold. 4 more gold right there. Now let's see what we got here. Let's condense this stack down a little bit as well. What have we got here? Oh, I actually had actually accidentally pulled 2 colonists instead of 1 colonist, but we've got 4 colonists there. So let's go ahead and just condense them down. All right, so yeah, 2 colonists, or grand total of 4 colonists, 2 2-unit colonists, plus the gold, and we got 2 soldiers there. So let's find a 2 soldier as well, because I don't really think, since we took care of the native influencers, not, you know what? Actually, no. I may want to pull some of those soldiers back. I don't need that many soldiers in the area. So yeah, next turn when I send out the treasure fleet to pick up the gold, I may pull some of those soldiers back. We may do that. All right. But yeah, 4 colonists and 2 soldiers is going to be 8, 9, 10 more ducats, maintenance fees. So we're down to 93. Is that all the maintenance? Yeah, that is all the maintenance we have to worry about. So, okay, now we also have to check, since it's the end of turn 2, we are losing Columbus as an explorer. He just goes away, goes into retirement, whatever historically happened with him. Let's see, Piazzo, he's at turn 4, turn 3 for that Conquistador. Balboa, turn 5 for that Conquistador. So yeah, I think we're done with everything so far. That is going to be turn 2, and that's actually kind of an interesting turn 2. As you can tell, early game, you don't make a lot of money. You really got to grab places where there's gold mines or, treasure cities. And that's, like I said, that's why I really recommend using the optional rules where you have 8 potential treasure cities out there instead of everybody knowing, Cusco, Chichen Itza, and the Aztec Empire, which I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying to say it. If I heard it, yeah, then I could pronounce it, but I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Spanish was never one of my strong suits when it comes. Hell, I speak German and I don't speak German, and I butcher German all the time. So that's going to be it for turn 2. I don't think I got too much messed up that time. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section. Yeah. That's all I got. Talk to everybody later. See ya!